If I had to guess why this happened, I would put my money on the fact that this barber was just having a hard time building clientele. He was comparing himself to other barbers in the shop, feeling like, oh, I cut as good as this barber, or I am as funny as that barber, or, whatever it may be. And his client base wasn't reflecting who he thought he was. My guess is the pressure of having booth rent and personal bills, rent, mortgage, car payments, insurance, needing to put groceries on the table, stuff like that, probably multiplied his anxiety and his stress about this industry, about building clientele. My guess is he probably cut this client once or twice or even 3 times and thought that now this client belongs to him for life. My guess is that client that gave him 1 or 2 opportunities just realized I'm not getting my money's worth from this barber. Whether it was the barber's professionalism or lack thereof, whether it was the barber's punctuality or lack thereof, whether it was the fact that the barber didn't do a good job listening and executing what the client was asking for as it pertains to the haircut, whether it was the barber, his language wasn't becoming of the client, or the barber, maybe they just had personality differences. Whatever it looks like, the barber felt like the client was his and he was entitled to that client's business no matter how much he underperformed at the job. That client felt like the barber felt entitled to things that did not belong to him. My guess is the pressure of not being able to provide, and the stress of coming to work at whatever interval he was showing up to work, he felt like it wasn't going the way that he wanted it to go. And instead of looking inward and saying, what am I doing that is making these people not come back to me? What is this barber doing that I'm not doing that are making clients want to sit in his chair? Instead of that barber looking inward first and asking, what am I doing wrong? What could I do better? What could I do more of? What should I do less of? He looked outward and blamed others. Accountability is something I preach in every realm of my existence, in my relationships, in my friendships, in my business, in my shop. Accountability is the only thing that I start with whenever there's a dispute, whenever there's a misunderstanding. I look inward first. And then when I've uncovered every stone, when I've flipped over every leaf, then I start to look outward and say, okay, maybe this might be you. But I start with, it is certainly me. Like, that's my approach to any issue that I'm involved in. I assume I did something wrong first. And so I start doing self-inventory. And it sounds like this barber didn't do that. And then the barber had instant regret and remorse because when the cops got there, he surrendered, and it was just, he realized he had done the big one. I don't condone barbers fighting over clients, but in my shop, no one has ownership over a client. A client decides where they're going to spend their money. And if you notice a trend that people that you've cut a couple times aren't coming back to you, it's not the other barber's fault. No one can steal things from you that don't belong to you. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Please shoot your boy a follow. Share this with somebody that may have never heard of this story. I am Sean Cussa H on all social media. I stream daily, Thursday through Monday on TikTok, Twitch, Kick, YouTube, and sometimes Facebook. I am Sean Cuss H on all social media. I love to hear from you. Love to hear your thoughts on this topic. Otherwise, I do appreciate your time. Y'all be safe.